Once you head east into Ozark too, Clarksville, Paris, most of us are getting rain. But you do see the radar trying to hint that a couple snow pellets are trying to mix in. Everyone is going to see something different. In fact, from one side of Paris to the other side of Paris, you could get something completely different. That's the way winter goes. Of course, you guys know that. But the heaviest snow is reporting over Washington County. Everything's moving north and east. There's a really good snow band back west towards Latimer and Haskell counties. This will bring a good burst of snow right towards Poto and then towards Shady Point and Panama within the next hour as more snow comes in. And then we've got some very heavy snow reporting right over Fayetteville, moving north into Springdale. Rogers, we've got some of that good snowfall too. Madison County, boy, we've been picking it up big time. But then once you head a little bit farther north, once you get out of those mountains, we got that mix between some rain and some snow as temperatures are still a little bit too warm as you get close to Eureka Springs. We're kind of getting that wintry mix. So sometimes it's a little bit of rain and sometimes it's a little bit of snow. Let's zoom in real close. We've got heavy snow reporting over Lincoln and West Fork, Siloam Springs. We switch over to snow. Most of Rogers, we switched over to snow. Bentonville, some of us are getting some snow and some of us are getting some of those snow pellets, and sometimes it's just more a chilly rain, but over time we're switching more over to snow. But once you head into Washington County, it's all snow for us. You head into Crawford County, it's mainly snow from about Mountainburg northbound. Once you head towards Dean Springs and you kind of go a little bit lower into elevation, that's when we switch back over to rain. Fort Smith, just been checking the iCams this evening, mainly still rain, but boy, once you head to the Choctaw Casino, which is right here, that's where we've been getting some snow and some snow pellets. So it's a very tough mix. Some of us on one side of Fort Smith are getting something completely different on the other side. But then more snow as you head back into Sequoia County. Heavy snow. Look at this in Mansfield. Got a good band right over Hartford and Mansfield and Hackett, some of that snow too. And then it continues farther south over Scott County. And then it starts to transition back more to rain once you get closer to Boonville. But we're getting that mix once again. It's tricky. Temperatures are everything when it comes to winter weather, and not just here on the ground, but as you go higher up in the atmosphere. And that's why it gets so tricky. But we are now in the mid-30s across northwest Arkansas. And remember, we had more of that snow in Fayetteville, rather so much in Bentonville and Rogers. Just a 3-degree temperature difference can do that. So every town is a little bit different. That's why everyone gets something, has a little bit different of a story. But mid-30s now towards the north. Still safe above freezing in Fort Smith, but we're kind of getting snow pellets mixing in. Let us know what you guys are seeing. Poto, it's been snow for a while now. We're sitting right at 32 degrees. Kavanaugh Hill is white on the top. We are white on all the mountaintops. In the Boston Mountains, we're probably white guessing there on Mount Magazine too. We can see it some from the radar. It's been more snow in the higher elevations there as you go around the scenic bypass there, the byway, and then towards Scott County where we have the terrain. We've been picking up snow. We've now fallen to 32 degrees. So for the next several hours, we'll continue to watch the snow. As temperatures fall, more snow takes place, but it's not going to happen forever because we've got drier air that's starting to mix in from the west. So we probably have another, I'd say, oh boy, another 3 hours maybe, 2 to 3 hours, and then we're done. 9 o'clock, we're pretty much done in the River Valley. I want to show you what I'm talking about with Futurecast. Through the 6 o'clock hour, it's still snow. Here's 7 o'clock. We're still pretty much pure snow in northwest Arkansas and the mountains. We're still racking it up. In the River Valley, we're still getting sometimes rain and sometimes a mix of some snow pellets and rain. And back west, we're getting more of the snow. But by 7:30, we start to end this process. By 8, 9 o'clock, most of it's done. Could there be a stray flurry? For sure in the River Valley. Most of the snow is still falling in northwest, but then we get that drier air moving in from the west. Cool on out, dry on out. We get this system out of here. We'll get a lot quieter overnight tonight. But notice the temperatures. We're not getting all that cold. We're going to have a lot of clouds over us. They're kind of like a blanket. So could there be some refreezing on a few roads? Sure, but it's not going to be, I think, widespread because temperatures are going to have a hard time cooling off tonight because they're still well above freezing for many of us. But be on lookout tomorrow morning. Always got to be on lookout for those slick spots. But a lot of times the roads may be okay. A lot of times the snow is melting as it hits the road. Now tomorrow, you see this? We got a couple snow flurries that could be possible. The reason why, these clouds are going to be pretty low, so they may spit out a snowflake or two, but it's not really snowing all that much. It's just kind of throwing out of the cloud. Basically, an ice crystal just kind of gets caught by the wind. It gets out of the cloud and then just throws it on us. But that's the possibility tomorrow. And then throughout the day tomorrow, the clouds should clear. We'll get some sun. All right, how much snow is coming? This is our final forecast. Many of us are going to get about an inch or so in northwest Arkansas, in the southern River Valley. But then, I know the map looks wonky, but that's the area we live in, right? The terrain is very complex. but we have lower elevation from Clarksville west into Ozark, Fort Smith, and Van Buren, and that's why we have a little bit less. There's still a chance for snow. We could get a dusting in spots, but it's going to be right at the end. You know, we're getting dry air in, and so it may change over snow, but that may only last 30 minutes to an hour, and then it's gone. It's out of here. So we don't have as much time to get a dusting in parts of the river valley along the Arkansas River. Once you get away from the river, that's where we've already picked up some snow. Once you head over Mount Magazine, headed towards Blue Mountain, and then you get into Scott County, Poteau Mountain, Kavanaugh Hill, and Sugarloaf, yeah, we've picked up some snow. We picked up snow. We're still picking up the snow area-wide in LaFleur County and Sequoia County, where we're probably going to be around an inch or so. And then in the darker blue areas, we're probably getting more than an inch. You know, some of us getting more than 2 inches. We could be close to 3 to 4 inches in parts of the Boston Mountains, really high elevation areas. But mainly from the cities of Northwest Arkansas, Bentonville to Fayetteville, expect about an inch or so. There could be some of us that get a little bit more, especially in Washington County, and maybe just to get a little bit less, maybe closer to a ½ inch or so. Not a huge difference between a ½ inch to an inch there, but that's what we'll be watching for. And in Fort Smith, it's tough because once you get outside of Fort Smith, we're back to pure snow in LaFleur County. Once you hit that Choctaw Casino coming off 271, you hit Highway 112 headed into Fort Smith, or headed into Poteau, I should say, out of Fort Smith. That's where we picked up some snow already so far. This is another live look from Fayetteville. This is from Weddington, and you're looking southbound right now. So ignore this. We had this up earlier. This is southbound into MLK. And traffic is slow as snow continues to fall. We've got good bursts right now. Washington County, Sequoia County, another really good burst coming in from Latimer and Haskell counties. This will move in towards Fort Smith and then eventually move into Northwest Arkansas. We still got at least 3 to 4 hours to go in Northwest as snow will continue to fall. And in the river valley, you farther south you go, we only have about an hour or so left in parts of LaFleur County. We're going to get one more good burst out of here towards Stigler, and then it's going to be done. Fort Smith, we're still waiting on that transition for some of us. Some of us have begun of a mix. Let us know what you're seeing in the comments. I'll be able to go through those and take a look. But send us your photos. We've been getting amazing photos, amazing videos of the snow coming down. But boy, the mountains are picking up quite a bit. And you can see the terrain. Isn't that cool? All the terrain in the river valley. Once you head south of the Arkansas River, get back into the Ouachitas, you can see that on the radar. We're picking up the heavy snow. We'll continue to track the snow throughout the evening and into tomorrow morning. Meteorologist Stephen Elmore, he'll be watching the roadways tomorrow morning, working with meteorologist Zach Scott to let you know how that morning drive is going. And here about 10 o'clock, you'll want to tune into our 10 o'clock newscast, especially tonight, because most of the snow will be done and we'll have an idea on what has fallen so that we can make decisions and you can make decisions for your family what to do tomorrow based on how much snow you got and how the roads are looking. Could there be a little bit of refreezing? Sure, but temperatures are still kind of warm. You get better chances for refreezing when we go down to some low 20s. We're not getting there tonight. Some of us will just stay right next to the freezing mark, so we're right kind of on the edge. So we'll continue to watch out for that. Whether by light or by night, 5 News will always be by your side. We'll have more updates throughout the evening.